Ladies and gentlemen, let me see some hypes in the chats as we are here for the MSA Grand Finals. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here finally after a full season. The first QC League Finals in QC Champions history is right here, right now, today. We have two of the greatest teams in all of Quidditch about to go for it, and we are so excited to get to it. Today is the MSA Grand Finals, MSA held by Western Universe. Shout out to Western Universe for allowing me to come on alongside with my co-broadcasters, Shoki and Oskos. This way for y'all. Y'all, we must be excited. How are you feeling, Shoki? Let's hear it from you.
I am feeling so hyped. Honestly, I had a difficult time sleeping last night with how exciting I think this game is going to be. These two teams have done fantastic in this tournament thus far, as well as their performance in other tournaments as well. I think this is going to be a pretty interesting game. I think both teams have a lot to offer, and I think both teams are really gunning for a flawless victory here. And honestly, I cannot wait to see the outcome.
Oskos, how you feeling today? The excitement is in the air.
Oh, I am definitely feeling it. It's been one hell of a ride so far. This is probably the biggest weekend for Quidditch champions yet, as long as the competitive scene is concerned. There's a lot of things going on, and I'm glad we got here. Congratulations to everybody still in it. No matter which league, I think everybody's just kind of ready to get into it and watch everything go down throughout this whole entire weekend.
Well, yes, we have made it quite the journey, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, we've heard all the noise up to this point. We could get into it if we wanted to. The controversy of Bob's baddies and how they played. Dumbledore's army into the semifinals. Velpro missing someone and not being able to fully go into it. All the noise, crazy comms and some of their tactics, all the noise, all up to this point. But now the noise quiets just a little bit. The only thing that we're hearing now is the voice of your broadcasters and the team's voices of their captains getting ready, putting out the strats of what we can expect to see today. And to talk about it, we have Team Unown versus Crazy Comms here. And let's go ahead. We have quite the lineup to show you. Let's get into it. Well, there you had it. We saw a little bit of hype getting into the full lineups, but let's go ahead and talk about each individual person that we expect to be within the starting lineup. Shoki, I'm going to bring up some stuff. Oscars, I'm going to bring up some stuff. Shoki, I'm going to let you talk to it from the side of Crazy Comms. Oscars, I'm going to let you talk about it from the team of Unown. Let's go ahead and get it hyped for the Chasers, specifically starting with the captains. We have your boy Skinny HP and Carlson on Team Unown. Shoki, take it away. What can you tell us about Skinny P? What he's good at? What you want to see from him in this series?
Honestly, Skinny is a fantastic chaser. He's known for riding the Swift Stick, aka the Skinny Stick, as it is primarily the only broom that he uses on Chaser. He is running 6 in the offensive tree, allowing him to get those power shots, to make those shots a little faster, as well as those one-timers that he is incredibly known for. He's running 2 in the defensive tree, allowing for a little bit of that pass distance as well as drafting. And he's running 2 in the tackling tree for just a little bit of disruption, not enough for damage. Skinny is known for getting up in the keeper's face, going for quick dodges, as well as rear cam, bounce shots, and one-timers off of walls, ceilings, and a lot of different shots. He has a lot of versatility. This is going to be a fantastic time, and I cannot wait to see what kind of crazy shots he tries today.
Absolutely. The versatility of Skinny P cannot be talked about enough. Some even consider him the best chaser in the game. Obviously, he's well deserved to be in that argument, and this is the time for him to show it here in his truest first finals appearance ever here at the MSA. But on the other hand, we have another dog in Carlson. Oscars, what can you tell me about Carlson? What can we expect to see from him?
And obviously, Carlson is here. He is going to be a force on the field. Like many other chasers, he has that 6 in that top tree. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. If you don't use it, you're kind of missing out at this point. Those one-timers, huge on both offense, defense, everywhere around the field. You just kind of you got to have him. He has nothing in the center tree and 4 in the bottom. I mean, let's be honest. This guy is great. He's everywhere. I'm expecting a huge performance from him on both sides of the field.
And honestly, we will see a trend within all the Team Unown chasers running that 604. Obviously, we'll get into the beaters and seekers in a moment, and that will be a huge impact on the game. But let's go ahead and take a look at the other chasers in that starting lineup that we can expect. We have Yukio Takeda, who actually possibly will be flexing on both chaser and seeker, but we have him here on the chaser screen board as well. And on the other side, someone who just came out of nowhere and started dominating the game, made her name known, made her presence known, and here in the finals to show if she truly is that standout that we came out of nowhere, we have Chintasu on Team Unown. Shoki, give it to me on Yukio.
Yukio is going to be running a very distinct chaser playstyle. He has an 046 build for allowing him to get those drafts, longer passes. Nothing in the top tree, so he's not going to be using one-timers, but he does have 6 in that tackling tree, allowing for a lot more disruption, actual damage from his punches. I'm expecting to see a lot of midfield control, as well as aggressive defense, and a lot of setups going for other teammates when he's not trying to cook the keeper.
Absolutely. And we also know Yukio just possibly the greatest flex player in the game, if not the greatest flex player in the game, or just the greatest player overall in the game in general here in his first truest finals. Now, he has won every single grand finals of every tournament he has been in so far. Now here to get a true trophy to put on his resume here in the MSA. But obviously we have a huge standout in Chatasu, a surprise to everyone. Oscars, what can we expect to see?
I mean, once again, we are looking at that 604 build, very balanced on both sides of the field. I'm expecting just as much out of Chintasu as I was from Carlson. I'm expecting some great passes. I've seen that within games matching with Chintasu in the past, and I'm expecting nothing else in this game here.
And her defense and her positioning is incredible. We know she is one of the ultimate team players, has a little bit of versatility on that offense. She could just do it all. I think she's going to be the anchor point coming into this for Team Unown. But of course, it doesn't end there. We still got two credible chasers that we expect to be in the starting lineup to go over. Let's give it up for Shoni and Claire Fetty. Shoni, just, I know for me, one of the most aggressive defenders in the game. Also, just have some of the most interesting shots that I've ever seen in the game. Never fails to show off his creativity. And then Claire Fetty, I mean, one of the most solid chasers you could ever find. Doesn't matter what keeper she goes up against, she will find a way to have an impact in the game in all facets of the field. Shoki, give it to me on Shoni.
Shoni is once again going to be running a 604 build. He's the only one running the 604 on the chaser side for Team Crazy Comms. Now, a thing to note is that while he is running that one-timer, he's not running anything in the defense tree, but he is running 4 in the tackling tree, allowing him to deal that extra damage on those punches, allowing him to be a lot more aggressive as we've seen him in the past. Shoni is known for bounce shots, absolutely insane drives. He's a very, very distinct flyer. It's really hard to steal the ball away from him. He is a distinct threat that you cannot ignore.
Absolutely. And man, I know just from personal experience, it doesn't matter how close you get to those hoops, you know, on the other side. He doesn't just, I know he trusts his keeper, and we'll get into his keeper on the other side, but he is just gunning for you at all times. He wants the tackle. He doesn't care about the pressure defense. He wants the ball in his hand. He's going for the tackle every single time. Oscar, so we got Claire Fetty on the other side. What can we expect to see from Claire?
Once again, another very balanced player on both sides of the pitch. No matter if she's on defense, offense, midfield, always a menace, always a team player, always willing to make that pass out if needed, but she's also not afraid to make that shot when it counts. Once again, running the 604 build. I mean, can you really top it? Everyone else is using it. Why not run it as well? I'm expecting a great game today out of Claire.
Absolutely. We know Claire, and I say this out of love, she's got that sassy mentality, like you said, not scared of anything. She will face the best of them and say she's going to give it her all. And so that's what we should expect from this series. But that's what we have from the Chasers. Let's go ahead on in on those special roles, because let me tell you, it's going to be a brawl when you look at the beaters. We have Mako, one of the scariest in the game. We know what he can do. And we have ADH Decent, 2 of the best going at it. 2 very aggressive, 2 different build sets going at it. We can't wait to see it. Shoki, give it to me on Mako.
Makun is going to be running a 226 build on beater, which is a fairly balanced build. You still have 6 in that tackling tree, specifically for dealing with seekers. That 6 point, allowing every single time you hit them with a bat to take away some of that snitch meter, allowing some more pressure to be relieved from your seeker. He does run 2 in the defense as well as bludger handling, allowing him to get a little bit of boost when he summons that bludger, and he is a monster with it, as well as getting some additional intercept range and drafting. He is a absolute threat, and he cannot be left alone, because he is going to be a very, very difficult time dealing with when he sticks to your seeker like crazy glue.
He has quite a way. I mean, and sometimes we even call him the third seeker on the field, just the way he just has that snitch path down, not allowing the other seeker to just be able to go head on for that snitch that they like to. It's scary, I tell you, when you just know that he's lurking at all times. It doesn't matter. But let me tell you, we have another stud on the other side, an ADHD set that just constantly proves himself time and time again. Shows out, shows up, balls. Oscars, I know you play a little bit of beater in your time and days. Let's hear it on ADHD set. What do we got with this 046 build?
What's there to say? I mean, ADH Decent is one of the best beaters in the game. I know he's had to take a little bit of a hiatus, but I don't expect that to make him any less of a threat. Obviously, he's going to be running that 6 over in the tackling tree. As Shaki said, that will allow him to get that extra 5% on those tackles. Always a very big issue for seekers. I mean, when it comes out of nowhere, it can make the difference in any race. And he's running the 4 in the teamwork tree. That should really help him keep control of that of the field a little bit. And I think he will do that. He is a master on the field, and I am ready to see what he has to offer us tonight.
Absolutely. And let's go look at the 4 Seekers that they will be chasing all game, doing their absolute best to take down. But trust me, chat, these are no easy Seekers to take down. In fact, don't even be surprised if they don't go down at all and do their damnedest to stay alive at 1 HP. We have Lissier, aka Rishi, and J-Guard on the other side. Obviously, 2 dynamic Seekers running that 5-3-2. In fact, even Yukio, if he flexes on Seeker, will be running that 5-3-2. So to say, these are all predicted from what they say. They could change these builds throughout the game. So go ahead. Let me just go ahead and put that disclaimer out. But expect it up front. These 5-3-2 builds. Shoki, give it to me on Rishi.
You know, Rishi is going to be running, like we said, that 5-3-2 build, which is going to get him a lot more meter, being very close to the snitch, as well as a little bit of padding when he goes away from the snitch with that 3 in the defense tree. And that 2 in the tackle is specifically for homing bump. Homing bump is incredibly strong. Anybody within 10 meters, especially that other Seeker, it is a hard lock on, allowing them to be diverted off course, lose some of their boost because they have to stop, and puts them in a very dangerous predicament for their beaters who are following right behind.
Absolutely, absolutely. We know he is one of the shiftiest in the game, so hard to hit, so dynamic, but obviously he is going to be a tough match with him against the one and only J-Guard, someone who has proven time and time again he can take on anybody. Oscos, you've also played Seeker, and as a beater, I'm sure you have faced J-Guard in multiple different ways. What can you tell us that we should expect of his game going in tonight?
I mean, just as was mentioned about Rishi, he is going to be slippery. He does have a tendency to hit those clutch bumps when needed. And the timing with the beater is always going to be important. He is very good at that as well. Obviously, both are running that 5-3-2 build, kind of almost necessary depending on who you ask at this point. That homing bump being so important when you need to get that clutch bump in there. I'm expecting to see a very great show out of him, and I would not be surprised if these Seeker battles go 1-1 in each game.
Absolutely, and it very well could go. Both of them are capable of splitting. Both of them are capable of catching 2. We have no idea how this series will go, and that's the whole fun part of it. But let's go ahead and see who's going to be holding it down for both of these teams, doing their absolute best to be the field generals that they have to be, giving the rings to their chasers, kicking the Seekers, timing that hero kick at the perfect moment to give their Seekers the edge in every way, shape, or form. It cannot go unnoticed how difficult this role is and how just many facets of the game that they impact. But we have 2 of the absolute dogs in the game at Keeper. On Crazy Comms, we have our man Alpha Tux, and on Team Unown, we have Landon QC. By the way, sorry, Landon, you got your picture a little late, so I had to get you with a little dance. A little bit of meme for you, Landon, but it's all love. Please, Shoki, go ahead and give it to me. Tux, the monster. What do we expect?
Yeah, Tux is the Alpha Tux 9000. He is known as probably one of the best keepers in the game, if not best. He's running a 604, allowing him for that boost strafe as well as additional kick damage. And if you have ever flown inside the danger zone, you know exactly how strong those kicks can be. He is a monster when it comes to protecting the hoops, as well as putting Seekers on the ground if they do not show him respect.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I expect to see a lot of people hit the ground around Tux. He is aggressive as they come. He likes to give what Skipper likes to call the hello kicks to the chasers as they come and go. So it'll be a bloody bath on that end of the field. But that's to not say that Landon, one of the shiftiest keepers, in my opinion. I mean, you think you have the open goal, you think you juked him, and then somehow he just ends up in front of you. Oscos, give it to me on Landon.
mean, it's going to be a lot of the same as was said about Tux. I mean, he calls himself Mini Tux for a reason. He is going to be an issue for those enemy chasers and that enemy seeker. He has just a way of getting in front when he needs to, and a way of getting around and getting that quick kick. So I am expecting a lot from him as well tonight. I mean, what else needs to be said? This guy's great, and I think he's going to give us a very wonderful performance.
Absolutely. He's been holding it down for Team Unknown this whole time, even in the face of Dumbledore's army and others. Just stops after stops after stops against chasers that you just believed they had that in them. And he said, no, you don't. It's in me. So it is time now. We have gone over what we believe is the starting lineup. There may be some other surprises in there. We will calm them out as we go on. But it is time soon to get into game one. Chat, let me see some hypes. How excited are we? We want a good game even for both teams. Let's see it. This is going to be the absolute fun. Let you go. There we go. As we get in here, we see the position starting to select, but we'll go ahead and talk about it as we go. I think this is going to be a bloodbath. I know a lot of people may have their predictions, a lot of expectations, but you truly don't know, especially with the pressure of the real finals, just what everybody is capable of. And we are about to find out as they are getting the codes ready. They are getting finding the games. We are just moments away from game one of the MSA finals. And it looks like we have made our way there. So let's go ahead and tune in. We looks like we're going to be on Weasley Burrows Sunset. It'll be me for game one. It'll be me and Shoki commentating. We load on in. There we go. We got our Sunset, and we on one side we have Carlson, Jagar. Oh, it looks like they are leaving the match. Maybe it was a little bit of a false start. That's okay. Let me bring up all my screens again. So I didn't get to catch the C, but they seemed that they were Q sniping, hoping to get the correct 6. Obviously, we know that Q sniping is just a little bit more stable on the server side, but obviously you risk the chance of running into another 6, or even getting a map you don't like World Cup Sunset. Ew. we all hate that map. But let me ask you, I mean, if you were, you know, going in for customs, you know, some people believe maps give them tactical advantages. Even we saw in a tournament this past weekend, a lot of people liking World Cup, a lot of people liking Weasley Burrows Cloudy. Shoki, if you were picking for tactical advantage, you know, to give you the best line of sight and that good vibes, because you know the vibes matter what map you take, what map would you pick if you were here having the choices in the MSA Grand Finals?
Personally, it would be a tie for me in between Ilvermorny, which is the United States Magic School, and Durmstrang Overcast, allowing us to see a little bit of that Bulgaria without the snow causing a lot of issues for Seekers. I think it just provides a great ambiance, a great aesthetic, and a great ability to see things on the pitch as you need to from a Chaser and Seeker perspective.
Absolutely. Listen, finally, someone else says Ilvermorny. I love Ilvermorny. I will take it to my grave. Best map, best announcer. Go! I'll fucking do it just for y'all. All map. Even if y'all hate it, I'll do it. All right? You'll hate me too. That's a fine. But Oskos, what about you? What map do you like to see? What's the one that gives you the good vibes, those competitive juices, say, I got this no matter what role I'm on? Oh, we're missing the voice of Oskos. Oskos, are you muted?
Oh,
hey,
I got it now.
Everyone stay hydrated.
For me, I would have to say the newest map in the game, the Hogwarts Legacy map. There's just something about the lighting system in that map that just gives it such a nice aesthetic. It's a little bright, but it's still not too hard to see the snitch when you have to. So I would have to go with Legacy, but you know, that Ilvermorny pick is also a great one for about the same reasons. The lighting's just a little bit different. It looks great. So both of those would be an easy choice from me.
Absolutely. And listen, a lot of people are liking Legacy, that new look, that new feel. It could have made you feel, it just makes you think, you know, what other crazy maps like that we may have gotten had the development of the game been able to be a little longer. But unfortunately, it has not yet. This community is staying strong, staying loving, staying competitive, as we will find out here today. Talking about the competition, we know we have a lot of great things to possibly expect. So let's go ahead on into it a little bit. Talking about those lineups and those chasers, it is going to be a chess match on the chaser game. Obviously, myself and Shoki, we love ourselves a good chaser battle. That is normally our main role. Now, here's something that these are just predictions. I cannot expect this. Obviously, this is a lineup with Yukio in Crazy Comms, a lineup that I'm not normally used to seeing. But knowing the great minds on it and how aggressive, I think we could expect to see a little bit of a good rotational chaser game. The black representing Crazy Comms right now, you can see quite a lot of this. A lot of this 3-stack with rotations. One's looking for the seeker. When one's going back, one's moving up. Obviously, depending on where the quaffle is, having great positioning. You can see quite a lot of movement like this, as well as just that midfield control. Obviously, when they score, you're going to have 2 coming back. And they are obviously going to do everything they can to own the midfield. That has been the bread and butter of any team Skinny P and Yukio has been on. And obviously, you just can't count out where Shoni might be hiding. But on the side of Team Unown, with such their great chases, they have obviously such great positioning. They're looking at all angles and sides. They're typically a little bit more, if this is the defensive end at the top side of the field, they're typically a little bit more sticking together. They tend to move in packs. They have great flood timing. And so I expect to see quite a little bit of lineup like this going into them. Now they are selecting positions again. Hopefully we can get into game 1 of the MSA Grand Finals. But obviously, some good stuff to look forward to. Someone says, Shoni is always just there to steal the quaffle. It's stressful. It absolutely is, Rose, if you didn't know, with the good comms adding in. That's why I said he's just a dog on defense. He wants the tackle. He's not looking to pressure the defense. He's not communicating with the keeper. Oh, I'm holding him to one side of the field. He's saying that quaffle is mine. I want it. So obviously we love his tenacity. Absolutely. But it's always interesting to see how does he position himself, because is he on the offensive end or the defensive end? It's going to have to be something that the chasers on Team Unown are recognizing. You know, like I said, Crazy Comms is well known for rotation on those chasers. They believe in all of them, that they have the best defense and the best offense. It doesn't matter where they sit on the field. But obviously with the tenacity of Shoni just being that little extra aggressive, obviously he's someone you want to point out where could he be at all times. And it looks like we are loading into a map. Sorry not to cut you off, Shoki. And again, Shoki and I, if this goes through, will be doing the game 1 comms. We'll see if they keep it in Durmstrang. I don't know if Durmstrang is a banned map for them. It's not a map a lot of people like. And it looks like they may stay into it. So let me go ahead and get all the everything up and going. As we load on in to game 1 of the MSA Finals. And the kickoff, we have Jagar on the screen right now, taking that first early dodge. And let's see, they all reset their screens on me, of course, so I have to load the ball back up for us. But we have ADHD on beater, Jagar on seeker for Team Unown. Those are the POVs that we have. And here we have Yukio Takeda passing the ball off to Shoni, who kicks it on up to Neo Baller in for game 1. Shoni going ahead and taking that early bounce shot. Landon, though, says no. Yukio going for a bit of a tackle. May have hurt them there a little bit, as it just doesn't let him grab the ball as it should have.
Yeah, that range of that power kick is a little more aggressive than people might think. That timing is at least 3.5 to 4 seconds where that ball cannot be touched. And that was a thing that people were really using one-timers for. And there we see Neo actually come out with the first shot of the game, pushing score now 10-0 in favor of Crazy Comms.
Absolutely. What a opener by Neo Baller, someone that we didn't quite expect to be in the starting lineup for game one. Yet here we are. He's coming on the board for the first 10 points. Now, as we look onto the Seeker game a little bit, it seems to be a tight one. We have J-Guard here. It looks to be about 50-50 on both sides. Full health, but Rishi, on the other hand, a little bit of half health. We know ADH Decent is on his trail. We'll go ahead and take a look at Rishi real quick. Oh, I may have messed that up. It may not have went over to J-Guard. But Rishi now looking like he has a slight, maybe a slight disadvantage going into this, but he is fully healed on up. Looking for it.
Yeah, he probably had to play a little bit more passive, a little more evasive, thinking that he had gotten hit a couple of times. And as we noticed that he did find the snitch originally, giving him that first 5%. And we see Yukio coming out with another goal, now pushing the score 20-0 for the lead as far as Crazy Comms. Their snitch meter is actually looking like it's about evened out. They're both sitting at about 80% right now. And we see the kick out to midfield picked up by the side of Carlson.
And there's Shoney with that steal. Passing it back to Tux. Now, what a huge pass, by the way, earlier from Shoney to Yukio to set him up for that great score. We're going to go check in on our Seekers, though, as it is a very close race. We are on the cams of Rishi. Duck and dodge and weaving. This is going to be extremely close. He takes a dodge. He's got the indicator, and he catches Rishi for 30, putting Crazy Comms up 50-0 with 4 minutes left in the game. What a dominant start for Crazy Comms, Shoki.
Absolutely. It's going to be really difficult to come back from 50-0. You have to think that that's a guaranteed. If they catch the snitch, that's 30 points. You have to get another 2 qualified goals on Tux. Very difficult to do, but we have to see if they're going to allow themselves to get under the pressure that they are putting under. And we see Carlson fire back with an absolute banger of a dodge shot, now putting the score 10-50, lowering that lead that Crazy Comms has and putting it a little bit closer to the side of Team Unown.
Absolutely, and getting such an early score after that first snitch catch. We have seen quite amazing comebacks before, and he is go ahead and making it possible. But Shoney putting the momentum back on Crazy Comms. It is now 60-10 in favor with 3 minutes left. If you're on the side of Team Unown, you got to start putting it back in the hands of maybe Carlson or whoever could get you some offense. And then every time you go back on the field, you got to put a bit on that Seeker. We see right now J-Guard at low health for the side. Oh, just regen though, able to get that regen off. But it is possible. We have seen J-Guard was so close to that first snitch, so anything is still possible for a major comeback. Right now, Shoney just waiting for the kick out. Getting it to Chin Tasu, who passes it on up, gets it through almost everyone. Yukio, though, getting the late steal on the quaffle, having that huge positioning. Right now, Shoney, he has Neo on his right. He elects to pass it. He passes it right back, but sends it straight into the hands of Landon. He didn't even have to move. Landon, so calm, so cool in that moment. Huge. And right now, Chin Tasu with the ball, moving on up to take on Tux. She takes a dodge. She sends it in. Chin Tasu putting an extra 10 on the board to make it 70-10. My apologies. There is a 70 on the board that needs to be there. 70-20, 1 minute, 45 seconds remains.
Yeah, and that is still enough time, thinking that you have to have a minimum of 15 seconds in between a score to actually get another one. There is that 10-second timer before the quaffle comes back. And we have to see that J-Guard has to put a little bit more pressure on the snitch. But we see Shoney come back, assisted by Yukio Takeda, to put another goal on board, now putting it 80-20, really tightening that lead, making it really hard for them to fumble this game and making it incredibly difficult for the side of Team Unown to come back, but it is still not impossible. That snitch could put them in the momentum swing to get that tie and push this game into overtime.
And right now, Jaegar just got eliminated by Yukio Takeda, not looking good for the secret race. That is not what you want to see. Yukio Takeda putting that 046 in full effect. Coming on in. We'll have to go into the standpoint of Rishi looking to close out this game. He's got the full indicator. He just needs the prompt. But he sees so many red arrows on him. He just used his dodge. What an unfortunate timing as he has stayed away. He gets the extra dodge though, and he gets the catch. He ends it 110 to 20 on the side of Crazy Comms. What an absolute performance. Just spreading out all across the field for the whole Crazy Comms team. We saw everyone get scores for them. Yukio, Shoni, and Neoballer. We'll get to talk about it a little bit here into the intermission. Let me go ahead and get us all back on the screen, and we'll get Oscos back on the mics. Oops, everyone came back in. That one should go away. There we go. All right. At the end of game one, a 110 to 20. Now we saw a lot of fight still there for Team Unown. Obviously coming super close on that snitch race on the first go round. Unfortunately, Jaegar taking a little bit of a fall on that second one. I mean, what do you see there that maybe has to be done different on the whole aspect of the game to help, you know, Jaegar secure those close snitches, obviously knowing that opposition of Rishi on the other side?
Honestly, if you're the side of Team Unown, I think you have to start using that 4 in the tackling tree a little bit more to your advantage, thinking that they all can deal some damage, either relieving pressure off of Jaegar by punching those other chasers, by punching Makun, or just going for those punches on Rishi. He is very evasive, but it's not impossible to take him down. Obviously, he's running a very, very fast room. They're both riding the same exact builds. So as hard as it is for Jaegar to go down, it is just as hard to take Rishi down. I think they just need to turn that focus a little bit away from going for those long drives rather than just going directly for the seeker, especially when that meter hits about 75%. You really need to be all hands on deck for that snitch.
Absolutely. Now we saw Oscos after the first snitch catch. Team Unown did settle down a little bit on that chaser game. Carlson getting a quick one in there, just hinting at that possible rally, and then Shintasu taking a crazy dodge to a angle on Tux and able to sneak it in, getting those 20 points. If you're Team Unown, you have to at least start telling yourself, okay, we got some points on the board. We settled in a little bit. Game one is over. We go into game two. What do you think the mentality should be, Oscos?
I mean, at that point, it's we may have lost that snitch, but we have to try to rally on the other side. As you said, I mean, this game can be such a momentum-based game, especially when it comes to the mentality of the team, where if you slow down a little bit, it can be fully detrimental to everybody. So it has to be a quick turnaround. Okay, we may have missed that, but let's go. Let's push it down the field. Let's get these extra quaffle scores. Try to get a little bit more insurance on that scoreboard. Unfortunately, they weren't quite able to make it up this time. But I think after, you know, seeing Crazy Comms in the game, they should hopefully be able to switch it up a little bit and push forward in this next match.
Now, if you're on the side of Crazy Comms, you switch anything. They had passing all over the field between their three chasers. No one seemed to want to play hero ball. They said, we can all go forth. We can all conquer. And then obviously, you know, putting the pressure on Jaegar. We saw Yukio getting a tackle kill on him. So, I mean, if you're Crazy Comms, Shoki, do you change anything at all? Or do you go into game two saying, we got it already? Let's just keep it going.
You know, I'm a big fan of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't think that they should make any changes going into game two. I think they had a lot of great teamwork. They had a lot of great synergy, especially with all their builds. I think changing it now after seeing a successful game one, and this is going to be a best of 5 series, I wouldn't make any changes. I would keep it as is. And if there needs to be an adjustment, take it into game 3 when either you're even or they're already 2-0 and you can try to take those little bits of changes where need be.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, as we keep waiting for them to get ready to queue up and take on that game two, ladies and gentlemen, we have a little bit of a announcement that's not necessarily MSA Grand Finals related, but obviously has to do with some of our beautiful people in this community. We have some birthdays today, ladies and gentlemen. If you did not know, today is the birthdays of Phoenix Neo and KD Talks. So if you see them in chat, or even if you've already told them, if you haven't said yet today, tell them happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Phoenix Neo, member of Rising Phoenix International, Newt's member in League 7, as well as KD Talks, a notable member of one of our fan favorite teams being the Wing Guardians.
Absolutely, and she was part of Bob's Baddies in the MSA. So there we go. We just went for good.
I was gonna say, for our Spanish-speaking folks here, feliz cumpleaños, mis amigos.
Ah, there you go. Representation for Neo. Thank you. Yes, so happy birthday once again to both of you. I hope you've had all the wonderful cake and ice cream, and a little bit of a good drink in your cup if that's what you so desire. But we'll go ahead and bring that back out. They still look to be as if they're on the side of loading in or waiting to queue up. Maybe they are still talking strats for them to go into. But let's just talk about the journey getting here, especially for both teams. Team Unown having such a polarizing run here to the finals. Obviously, we know on the side of Velpro and Dumbledore's army, some situations occurred, and Dumbledore's army gets into the next round. We go into the custom games within Team Unown and Dumbledore's army, and there, I believe, in game 3, the game to decide it all, we were in OT. T Dreams holding the ball, looking into the face of Landon, and then out of nowhere, server crash. Good old QC server crash. Then they go into game 3, and Team Unown did not waste the opportunity, said it with no chance we go back into OT. They came out and had a dominant performance to shove themselves into the finals. Now, when you look at that series, obviously, who knows if T Dreams could have taken that shot and put it on Landon. But when you look at just how dominant Team Unown took advantage of that opportunity, we have to believe that they obviously deserve their spot here, and that they have their time. They will have their time to shine within these games. Game is starting.
It's always unfortunate.
Oh, they switched up. The game is starting. They switched up the teams on me. We'll go ahead and load that out. All right, so we already have it up 10, though. That is my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and get that 10 onto them. That should have all been zeroed out. There we go. All right, we have Rishi on us right now. Looking like he has slight disadvantage. Unfortunately, though, they have changed up their positioning, so our secret battle will be interesting to see here. Let me go ahead onto the side of Yukio. Crazy Com's getting another 10 points. I am unsure as to why the Povs have changed up here a little bit. There we go. That will work. Unfortunately, it'll be a little bit backwards, but we can see here that right now, Rishi is holding the lead. We'll have to find out what's happening with Jagar's build, but Team Crazy Com's obviously starting off hot. We can see right now, it looks like Shoni with the ball. Let's see if I can get his POV. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Yukio playing beater this game, really showing that flexibility that he has. Uh, Currently, like we said, the score is 20-0 for Team Crazy Comms, maintaining the lead and possession of this series so far. Shoney is actually playing a little bit of defense, going for those punches wherever he can find them, being really aggressive. Landon actually does get the save, attempts to kick out, and we see those one-timers about kicking the ball right back in that keeper's face. It can definitely catch some people off guard, but Landon is not one to be trifled with either. Nicknamed Mini Tux after receiving a lot of coaching sessions from these teams. And we see Shoney sitting off to the side, and we see the one-timer kick come out. Score now 30-0 with that snitch race being so close for both teams. This could do a lot to either even out the score or push this to a 60-0 game here that we're seeing in the next 15 to 20 seconds.
Absolutely, and just to make it clear, it is actually Jagar that is in just the slightest of leads right now. I know it looks a little backwards. Unfortunately, his POV is glitching out. Right now, Rishi having the lead in front, but Jagar having the... It'll be a little scuffed as far, but Jagar getting punched there. That is a big punch. Rishi and Jagar fighting it out right now. Who's going to get it? Jagar has a little bit of a lead. He just needs the prop. He has to click. He catches it. Jagar for 30.
And like we said, evening out this game, these Seekers are going back to back. Obviously, Rishi having a great game one with both snitches caught, and Jagar showing that he's not one to be trifled with either. Now the score sitting at 40-30, making this much more even as far as these games are concerned. Currently in the hands of Shoney, and he gets past the keeper. Just looks like Landon came out a little too far, and Shoney, with the pickup and a slight invulnerability period, was able to kick the ball a little past him, pick it up for an easy score, now pushing the score to 50-30, currently in the lead for Crazy Comms.
Obviously. Oh, but Neo just getting a huge steal on Carlson, who could have gone down, get a little bit of that momentum. But we see Claire Fetty trying to play a little bit of defense. The ball's going everywhere, but back in Shoney's hand, he scrambles around, but ultimately stolen by Carlson, who throws it upfield. But it looks like there is a Crazy Comm member already up downfield to get it, passing it back to Shoney, looking to the face of Landon, takes a dodge, tries to shuffle it in, one of his most well-known shots, and he almost got a one-timer back in there, Shoki.
Yeah, that one-timer really makes it dangerous. If keepers aren't paying attention, they can easily get scored on, just thinking that the ball is in safety. But that one-timer, if it is not a protected hero kick, makes it impossible to guard for the most part. But we see Landon doing an absolutely fantastic job of guarding against those one-timer kicks off of his saves.
And Neo going low, then going up high again for the score, making it 60-30. As of right now, there have been no chaser scores on the side of Team Unknown, but Jaguard obviously taking the battle on, keeping that snitch race close. But right now, it seems like the chasers on Team Unknown need to find out how to get a little bit more of this midfield control. It seems like it's just constantly handing up in the hands of Crazy Comms, and Landon just having to stop everything that he can. But right now, Claire with the ball, or Chin toss with the ball, excuse me, sending it back to Landon. Shoney going for a one-timer kick on this. Landon, too smart though. He's saying no, no, no. Kicks it out, even gets the hero on Shoney, and gets the kill on Shoney. Shoney going to the ground.
And we see currently the snitch race is sitting at about 80% for both teams, with a slight advantage going toward the side of Team Unknown. They are playing a lot less of the quaffle game and a lot more of the snitch control game. We do see that Yukio playing on that beater is going to relieve a little bit of pressure off of Rishi, going for those punches, and we see Rishi come out with the catch, now pushing the score 90-30 with 30 seconds left. That is not going to be enough time for Team Unknown to come back, unfortunately for them, which is going to mean that Game 2 does go to Team Crazy Comms in this best-of-5 series.
Absolutely, just not enough time. But Shintasu getting a little bit of a confidence booster there to put them up another 10. 90-40 will be the final score for this Game 2 for Crazy Comms.
And we see Rishi with the signature Draco catch on his victory celebration. Ever since it came out, that has been almost exclusively what he uses, riding off in that pink leather jacket.
Absolutely. What a fantastic performance that we saw from both the beaters and seekers, getting that seeker split. Jagard finally getting his footing in. But now we're going into a crucial game 3 for both for Team Unknown and Crazy Comms. If you're Crazy Comms, you just want to say before they can start figuring things out, we've got to put it away. Because obviously you can not count out Team Unknown. They are so diverse. We saw in game 1 they got a little bit of footing on the Chaser scoring. In game 2 they got their rhythm on the Seeker. Now it's time for them to put it all together. What do you think we'll see? I mean, I think if you're on the side of Team Unknown, you just have to say we'll go out there, we'll be as aggressive as we can, and enjoy play as the best ball that we know we can do.
Absolutely, I agree with you there, Flyrish. I mean, at this point, it's you throw everything, including but not limited to the kitchen sink in there. Do whatever you can to just make whatever plays that you can, and just play the best Quidditch possible, and just hope for the best at that point as far as Team Unknown is concerned.
Absolutely. And obviously you got to know the confidence of Crazy Comms, though, Shoki. They are switching their lineup at this point to truly, we have no idea what to even expect going into this game 3. Do you think we'll see any more surprises, or do you think they'll run one of their lineups that we saw in games 1 or 2?
I was one to say that they shouldn't make any changes, and yet we saw them make the change from Yukio from Chaser then to Beater. Now at this point, it wouldn't surprise me if they made a change as far as their lineup again, just not allowing Team Unknown to adapt to any strategy that they might take.
Absolutely. This is going to be a tough one. I believe that we will see Team Unknown, though. I gotta have some belief, obviously. I think Chintasu is going to have a standout game. We've seen her do quite a lot in both games 1 and 2. I think this is her moment to shine. We know Carlson can take it upfield and get some good scores in, but with the scoring prowess of Crazy Comms, we've seen them going for all types of shots. Landon having a monstrous performance, even though it just kept coming to over and over again. He was able to stop quite a lot of goals there. He has got to be feeling good. I think on the side of Team Unknown, like I said before, if we could just get a little bit more of that midfield control, get those quaffles that Landon is kicking out there, get that ball upfield. You got to take as many opportunities as you can on tucks in order to, help out that seeker game as well. There's just a little bit of a balance that they've got to get there, but they obviously have the diversity and the skill to do it. Shoni, beater arc incoming in full force. That would be the surprise. I would love to see it. I thought Unknown was going to get that. It was close. I believe though, we've now seen 2 on the side of Rishi in game 1. We saw a split there in game 2. It is very possible Jagard can go get his 2 here in game 3, which can obviously swing the momentum so heavily in the side of Team Unknown here in this best of 5.
Yeah, those 60 points that you can get from the snitch in these games, and in very rare cases 90 points, can make all the difference in the world. Going from 0 to 30 or 30 to 60 or 60 to 90 really makes the impact on the game. It can take a team that has been down and out as far as the Chaser game is concerned right back into a tied or even winning position for their team if the other team does not control the snitch. And we are seeing both teams doing a very good job of attempting to control the opponent's seekers. Obviously, game 1, Rishi was able to take, as you said, both of those snitches. Game 2, we did see Jagard come back. And hopefully in this game, we can actually see almost a reverse sweep of those snitches for Team Unknown, pushing them in the winning strategy or them in the winning position for this game 3, but we can only guess until we see it.
And here we go, starting into game 3. We're starting off on the side of ADH Decent. I'm gonna just take a quick crack at this to see if we can get this to fit in where it needs to go in order to help the scoreboard look a little bit more as it needs to be.
And we see Decent doing a good job following the snitch as he needs to, going for those tackles where he can, putting the pressure on the snitch. But we see Shoney coming out, firing the first shots for this game, now putting the score 10-0 for the side of Crazy Comms. Rishi is dodging all of these bludgers that are being thrown at him, and Decent is just looking for any opportunity to get any of these points that he can. And we see Crazy Comms Shoney with another fired off shot, pushing this now 20-0 for the side of Crazy Comms.
Absolutely. And here we actually see for once the Skinny P now making his debut onto the field. He's got the ball in hand, although stolen away from Team Unown, taking it downfield to face off Tux. Takes a dodge, but Tux just getting a big stop, giving it already back to the hands of Skinny P. He's got Neo in front of him. He's got options. What will he take? He's got one chaser on behind them. He seems to be taking it all the way. Takes a dodge, goes behind the hoop. Will he go for a reverse shot? He does, but Landon stiffs it out and doesn't allow it. But still, back into the hands of Crazy Comms.
Skinny is a very aggressive chaser. It looks like he maybe got a little bit too close before that dodge, not allowing him to get the shot off that he really wanted. But we can see Landon not being a pushover, allowing himself to get those saves where he needs to. Currently in the hands of Team Unown, but stolen away by Skinny, and then it is quickly stolen right back by Team Unown. This quaffle is changing hands. These teams really want this win.
Absolutely. We got Carlson about to come up on Tux. He sends a shot out, but it goes on the rim, and Tux is able to kick it right back out. We've got the sights of Neo. He's trailing behind, looking for an opportunity to help out the other chaser. The other chaser goes for, looks like a bounce shot off the roof. I respect it. Right now, don't be fooled by the way that the layout is. The Rishi right now is leading in the snitch race. Once again, Neo up front. The ball goes out just a little far, and Landon able to grab it. He's holding on to it. Maybe he has a reserved hero kick. Gets kicked out, back into the hands, and Rishi getting that 30, putting Crazy Comms up 50-0.
Yeah, we did see this actually in the first game as well, that 50-0 lead. It is very hard to come back from. It really affects the mental of your team once you're down that much, but it is not impossible to come back. There's still 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in this game, not even halfway through. This is enough time for both of these teams to come back if they were far behind. Skinny currently right behind Neo, trying to play a little bit off to the side, going for a one-timer angle, and we see that he unfortunately does not get the ball passed to him, currently in the hands of Chintasu, who passes up to Carlson. Carlson is dodging as many of these chasers as he can, but unfortunately does not get past Skinny, who is just holding this ball and pushing the ball where it needs to be, currently in the hands of Shoney, getting those rings from Tux, flying in hard from the right. And
stolen.
Does get the ball stolen away.
Absolutely. Team Unown right now getting quite a few steals we've seen over and over again. Right now, Chintasu looking like she's going to be challenging Tux. She goes off for the top hoop. Tux, though, just able to get a grab of it before she could get it out their hands. Getting it back to the hands of Skinny P, obviously one of the most dangerous chasers. Facing on Landon, goes for the dodge to the right and scores it for another 10. 60-0, Crazy Comms. Obviously, we know with his swift stick, that dodge to the side for keepers gotta be dangerous, Shoki.
Yeah, it actually has the largest dodge distance of any broom in the game. It can take you from the left hoop all the way to the right hoop, which is a very hard strafe for a lot of these keepers. And we see Shoney currently with the ball in hand, goes for a shot, but unfortunately it is stopped by Landon, who kicks it out to Chintasu.
Yeah, Shoney got just behind Landon, unfortunately not able to really capitalize off it. We got it back in the boys of your hands of your boy Skinny P. He's got Shoney up front. Shoney going for a bounce shot. Unfortunately, just does not get it in. Right now, if we take a look at Rishi. Rishi getting, looks like the tail end of that hero kick, or he got tackled as I switched over. But your boy Skinny P putting another 10 on the board. Right now, Rishi having a slight lead, but Jagar can still make this competitive. He's dodging and weaving his way through. Landon right now holding on to the ball. Skinny P holding that midfield, looking to take advantage of it if it floats out a little bit right now into the hands of Team Unown, who's taking on Tux, but it looks like it's stolen.
Yeah, one thing to note is that Rishi is currently sitting at 1 or 2 HP. His regen is starting. So if this is the part where Team Unown wanted to capitalize, that would have been the point. But Rishi is right back to full. And we see Carlson fire back with a dodge into a wiggle shot on Tux, now pushing the score 10-70 with the last 30 seconds remaining in the game.
Absolutely. We'll go into the sight of Rishi here, as this is going to be a tight snitch battle here, but Jagar getting the catch, giving 30 to Team Unown, making it 70-40 with 20 seconds left. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough for them to make a comeback, but I gotta tell you, they fought very valiantly this match to make this such a tight, close game. Right now, Neo holding the ball. They're looking if they're going to go for one more score. Unfortunately, the time will end before it could get to the hands of Shoney. But they give the full sweep to Crazy Comms. Different lineups, different looks. Same lineups with people on different roles. Absolutely monster performance by them. They deserve a whole lot of credit for what they were able to just accomplish. Huge stuff. Let me go ahead and bring y'all back in. My comments, I kind of need them, but my void there. Oscos, as you saw all those games, commentating or viewing them from the side, what did you see from Crazy Comms overall that just gave them that edge every single time?
I mean, no matter what lineup they were using, they just kept the pressure steady. They kept it hard. They did not give Team Unown time to breathe at all. I mean, whenever they had the opportunity, they were taking the quaffle back and pushing it down towards the other side of the field. I mean, they just played in your face Quidditch, and they did a very good job with it. And I think that was really the difference maker here in these matches.
Absolutely. And Shoki, I mean, we saw a lot of fight from Team Unown. Shintasu getting scores in games 1 and 2. Carlson getting some scores in. Claire Fetty obviously had some great positioning. We saw her get some good steals and passes upfield. And then Landon played lights out. I mean, he just, as much pressure as he kept getting, he took it all, and he kept sending it right back out there for them to try again. So, I mean, when you look at it from the standpoint of Team Unown, I mean, they still got to be feeling proud, heads up high with that performance.
Absolutely. Thinking from game 1 that there was a 90-point differential, and every consecutive game, that point differential dropped little by little, and pushing them to the point where, you know, given enough, they actually might have come back for a game. But Team Crazy Comms was not letting it happen. They were switching up their playstyle. They were switching up those positions, allowing Yukio to play beater, to play chaser, to play all these different roles that he is so incredible at, as probably one of the best flex players in this game. I think this was just a fantastic showing from Team Crazy Comms, and Team Unown has absolutely nothing to hold back. They did a stellar job in this game.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I don't know if the voice of Western will tell me. I don't know if we should be expecting any interviews from the MSA Grand Finals. Congratulations to Crazy Comms, bringing home the trophy of the very first Quidditch Champions League finals of all time. We'll go ahead and see what Western can work out. Again, shout out to Western. Thank you for allowing me to take part in the finals, broadcasting and doing all a good bit of the production behind it. Everyone, please give a huge shout out to Oscos, who the scoreboard that you saw, the little effects amongst the scoreboard, all of that. He is the one that created all of that. So seriously, everyone, tell Oscos he did such a great job in all the production that he did. Shoki coming in here with his valuable knowledge of the game during and in between, and obviously Western for hosting the MSA and for allowing us to put on this incredible finals for you all. Indeed, yes. Go ahead and soak in all the love you can see here, Western. You deserve it, and Oscos and Shoki. Can't wait for season 2 of the MSA. Absolutely, we already see people ready to contend. Boss baddies showing they're ready to go again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you again. If you haven't yet, or if you aren't aware, if you've come in a little late, it is the birthdays of Katie Tox and Phoenix Neo. So make sure to celebrate them. Happy birthday. They will be celebrating here in a little bit on a stream. They're going to be playing some party games. So be on the lookout for that if you'd like to come hear their voices and tell them happy birthday on said stream. I have not heard from Western. I don't see him in the VC either, if he is working on that.
I believe we are going to be attempting interviews with just the captains.
Just the captains.
We are going to be starting with the captain of Crazy Comms as the victor of this MSA final, and then we will be doing a subsequent interview, hopefully with the captain of Team Unown.
Awesome. Two valiant players in the game. Very dominant performances by both of them. I'm actually quite not sure if it's Skinny P or Tux that's the captain in the MSA League. Either way, both put on a stellar performance to be commended by whenever we get the chance to. But obviously, just fun matches all around. And again, shout out to Team Unknown. They were grinding their way back. They were figuring things out about Crazy Comms. Everyone just knows how dominant Crazy Comms is, but Team Unknown still finding ways to make each game closer and closer. They just had, maybe another game, they would have found that stride to give them that leading edge.
All right, it does look like we have one of the captains ready for the interview. Please allow us a brief intermission while we get those captains ready for these interviews, and we are going to have a conversation with Alpha Tux from Crazy Comms first, but we will be right back after this brief intermission.
Don't go anywhere.
Cool. They shouldn't be able to hear us. I'll just drag.
overall. I'm still muted or not?
I'm so yep. I have to do that again.
All right.
This is why I should broadcast. I'm not the. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. We have the victor of the winning team in Alpha Tux of the very first grand finals of the MSA Alpha Tux. I know it's a little late for you, but you've got to be feeling great right now. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty proud of my team. I think we did pretty good today, so yeah, I'm feeling great.
Absolutely. So let me ask you, Tux. Obviously, you had a lot of pressure coming in from Carlson and Shintasu. I mean, we know them as some of the best chasers in the game. I mean, just what are you doing when you see them coming your way? What is the mindset going in? Have you seen these chasers enough to kind of get a feel for their play style and you got your certain moves that you're looking for, or you just going by complete feel and doing what you can in those moments?
So for Carlson, I 1v1'd him a while ago a lot, so I know him. For the rest, they kind of play similar, so I mostly play for most of the chases I play similar. Just like waiting for the dodge and reacting to that. But other than that, yeah, I know Unown for most of us.
One last question, then I'll hand it off to Shoki and Osgos if they have any questions. We saw a lot of different lineups from you guys. Was that just kind of a pointer to get everyone in to play into the finals as much as y'all could, knowing the confidence y'all had in dominant players all across the board? Or were y'all just kind of, did y'all have the setup beforehand, or were y'all before each match like, all right, we'll do this, this, and that?
No, I just looked who showed up, and then we made all of the rosters just like in the call and discussed, okay, who's gonna play, and at the end we wanted to play like everybody at least once so that we got skinny in last game too. Yeah, we just discussed it like before the rounds, okay, who wanna play what, and then we went for that.
Absolutely. Shoki, any questions that you have for the band?
Well, Tux, I mean, we've been in this situation before. I've asked you so many types of questions. And in all honesty, I could probably go over this game 100 times and still find things that we didn't see the first time. If coming from a player's perspective, obviously we are sitting here in the caster's booth, seeing things from a lot of different perspectives. Is there anything that you noticed in particular about Team Unown's playstyle, whether that's their beater, their chaser game, their stitch game, or even some of the movements around their rotations? What do you think was the most difficult thing for Crazy Comms to deal with and still come out on top?
I feel like they played pretty fast, and this is a thing that I didn't expect it from Unown. Looking at their last L7 games, they kind of sometimes took longer for their setups in front of goal. This time they just took the 1v1, they just passed forward pretty fast, so they got pretty much opportunities on me, which is fine. And other thing was Jago played pretty good today. He got like 2 snitches, and that was a bit of an... I didn't expect it, let's say that.
Gotcha. Now, as far as the lineups that we were talking about, that Flyrish mentioned, and you said that you had kind of made those lineups in the call, in the actual team chat. Was there any discussion of getting maybe like we've seen Bob's Baddies do in this season, having anyone do like any position, or did you guys want to come out and say, no, we're going to play our strongest positions that we possibly can and allow everybody to get in for these finals?
Yeah, we had the idea of going any. We didn't do it at the end because with like Shoni and Mio who wanted to play for sure, so we had 2 chaser slots blocked already, and then we just like switched for the last chaser. I mean, I was keeper and Rishi was seeker for all of that, so just switch like Marco and Yukio a bit because Yukio wanted to play beater bad, and after that we just had to switch in skinny. So yeah, there wasn't really much space for the any position after that.
All right, and I will pass it off to Osgos for any questions.
So, after all of that, we obviously watched you guys play the hell out of that match. Looking forward, obviously you guys have, other games coming up outside of MSA. Do you think that this win here tonight is going to help give you guys any extra momentum going into the rest of this weekend? Or are you just kind of, keeping it chill with this and keeping that completely separate mentally?
I think we are pretty chill about most games, especially since our League 7 roster is a little bit different with Prophecy and with got Neo and Yukio. But I feel like we're chill about most games, especially since Unknown is in the other like bracket. They're in the upper bracket, I think, and we're gonna play Wingardians, Dumbledogs, and Finnice, I think. So if we match them, we will match them in like the half of finals. I don't know, something like that. So yeah, if we meet them very late. But I think we're mostly pretty chill.
Now,
All
obviously,
right, and you,
good.
no, all I was gonna say, obviously after a pretty dominant performance here, if you were to meet them again, was there anything that this game here might have keyed you in to even push further and either try to keep them from scoring even more, or is it just going to be a completely separate experience for you guys going into that one?
I think with missing Prophecy here and having like Neo who also wanted to score, we had basically 3 attack chases the whole game. So we're kind of lacking on defense, to be honest. With Prophecy, he's mostly back, so that will be a little bit different deal. And if he's back, then they don't have as much 1v1 opportunities. So I guess yes, that will help a little bit just for like knowing where they are right now, knowing what we're going up against. So if we meet them, yeah, it can't hurt for sure, yeah.
Now, obviously, Tux, you in that keeper position, you are able to see multiple facets of the game and the field all at once. As you can replay those 3 games in your head, was there a standout moment for you, whether it's just, the moment they say, oh, we got this, or just a fond memory that you may have taken away from season 1 of the MSA Grand Finals? What would that have been for you?
My favorite moment from the finals for sure is Shoney's like double score where he first ceiling bounced and then immediately shoveled after him. I think it was my highlight of the game to me.
Absolutely. Well, once again, congratulations to you and all of Crazy Comms. Y'all had a dominant performance all the way through. We cannot wait to see what comes for y'all in the MSA Season 2 and other ventures that y'all may have.
For sure, especially since in MSA the roster is a little bit different, so it's always interesting to play. Also against different teams, since the opposite teams are also different, so we'll see what Season 2 brings.
Absolutely. Well, I could hear it a little in your voice. I'm sure it's very early morning for you where you reside in right now. You go ahead and get yourself a good rest of sleep, or, celebrate. Whichever you prefer. Celebrate when you wake up.
Both?
Maybe both. Yeah, celebrate till you fall asleep. We love it. All right, Tux, you have a wonderful night. And we will go ahead and get Carlson up in here. Talk to him for a little bit. GG, Shoney.
Oh yeah. Thanks for hosting this, and thanks for Western too. Was a pretty fun tournament overall.
Absolutely. Oscar, I'll let you handle the Discord side of it. So.
Oh, and also thanks for casting. I mean, I didn't saw much since I was playing, but I'm gonna rewatch. So let's see after. I saw the intro. That was pretty dope. And I'm just saying, you guys set the bar pretty high for tomorrow for L7. So let's see what they have. I'm not sure if they can top this though.
We'll see. I had a little bit of production side mess ups throughout the series, but I'll clean that up. But we definitely had the hype intro.
That's true.
Yes, as Shoki could definitely tell you, as some of us could tell you on some of the smaller broadcasts we've done, it is a tough feat to broadcast and handle the production side all at once. But as we wait to get Carlson in here, that's why it's a huge shout out to Western, Shoki, and Oskos. This would have been so much more difficult without their help on my side. Oskos, the hype video that you saw as well. Again, the scoreboards, all the little fancy things that you saw like that. He put those together. Obviously, he is so talented and deserves a lot of credit and respect for the things that you got to enjoy here in this MSA Grand Finals, and it'll definitely get cleaned up. Obviously, Shoki, we love having you. Your spirit, your knowledge of the game, obviously your beard. Right now, I went from second place in beards 2 days ago to now I'm in last. We're kind of like a cell phone tower with the beards, it just gets a little higher, little longer. It's like opposite effects.
Well, you say only a little. pretty sure.
You can lay it over the desk, you know. If we had that technology, you could just. We'll have to find a way to like do that to make it have your beer just lay on the desk next time. All right.
Well, I'm going to be bringing in Carlson in 3, 2, 1.
Absolutely. I see Carlson has come in. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Carlson, the captain of Team Unown. Carlson, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Yeah, we are satisfied with that performance. So yeah, and we don't have much time to think about it tomorrow. We've got games tomorrow. So
absolutely, there's a quite busy weekend heading up in Quidditch, and I know Team Unown, relatively, if not completely, all the same between 2 leagues. So this obviously gives y'all a nice, taste of what to come, and I obviously expect high things from Team Unown, because every game y'all just improved each time and making it tougher and tougher and tougher on them. What were kind of the things that y'all were looking at and talking in between each games that made it, so much tougher for them to secure that win?
I don't want to give too much insight, but
Sure.
yeah, we did adjust for sure between the games. Yeah, like small details. Obviously, the secret game is very, very important. That's what it comes down to. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we saw Jay Guard, coming back from that game 1, splitting into game 2. Obviously, he got his rhythm going. Great signs going forward. And Shintasu having a stellar performance as well, getting a couple scores on Tux on games 1 and 2. You getting some scores on Tux within those. But let me ask you about Landon. I mean, Landon played a monstrous game all over. I mean, how's he feeling about right now?
I think he's satisfied as well. Yeah, he's a great keeper. I really think so. And yeah, he got some really good saves, and he kept us in the game at times. Yeah, his performance was good.
Absolutely. Before I hand it off to Shoki, how are any expectations going into this next week? When y'all had a hype week just now, lots of fun. Obviously, your team is very beloved, and I'm sure you'll see that all throughout this upcoming weekend too. I mean, we feeling confident we gonna see you in another finals?
Oh, I'm not gonna say anything. You can say anything here. We're just gonna take it game by game and do our absolutely best. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and hand it off to Shoki for any questions you may have.
Thank you, Flyrish. So Carlson, obviously the Quaffle game was pretty well adjusted from both teams. Obviously, we saw the side of Crazy Comms get some scores. We saw you guys get some scores, and that Snitch was split in those last 2 games. Obviously, coming back from the first game where the score was 110-20, what kind of conversation was happening inside the team chat to really push you guys to get closer in those scores as those games went on?
So I don't really think we talked about much about the Chaser game, like the scores. We just naturally adjusted because to them, because we had played them once. We could kind of tell what they were doing. So yeah, we just adjusted into game 2, and that was why it was a bit closer. But yeah, not really any specific conversation, I would say.
Gotcha. And obviously, it does hurt a little bit to get to the finals and not walk away with it. I'm really hoping that you can kind of put that on a shelf somewhere and get ready for your next tournament performance, which is going to be tomorrow, I believe. So is there anything that we should expect from Team Unown? Obviously, not giving away any trade secrets or strategies.
You should expect I guess good efforts and good mental from us. I mean, we showed that today. Even though they were the stronger team, we still had a good mental throughout the whole series. I must say that. And we had a really good effort. I would say, even though it was 0-3. I feel like some games felt very close. Those ninja catches being close. So yeah, just expect good things from us, I guess.
Absolutely, and I will pass it off to you, Ozgos.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and, kind of rehash the same type of questions that I was hitting Tux with. Obviously, tonight didn't quite go the way you were hoping, but Do you guys have any plans of using anything that you saw tonight to, possibly change how you're going into the rest of this weekend?
Ooh, change? No, I think we're satisfied with most things we're doing. Uh, yeah, I'd say we're gonna try to play the same game. Yeah, we know our strengths and we'll keep pushing.
Absolutely, and let me just say from watching y'all from afar, I mean, we saw uh after the fun server fallout with Dumbledore's army in that game, that initial game 3, y'all came back and y'all dominated every step of the way. Y'all just seemed to level up. And so I have no doubt in my mind we'll continue to see that all the way through the upcoming weekend and even further beyond if Team Unknown stays. But let me ask you, obviously 3 games, there was plenty of moments. You had some great ones as well. Was there anything with any moment that stands out to you in the MSA Grand Finals that you'll have fond memories of, whether that's just a fun moment that you personally achieved or a moment you and your team had in these games? Was there anything of that nature that you had?
I think no, it's the good spirit, good mental. Even though we were like losing, and yeah, I think we were still like fighting all the way. That's probably the biggest thing I'll take away from it. Yeah, even though we lost, we still really tried, and they tried as well. I saw that, and that was great. And we kept it close. So that's what I'll take away.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming. You and your team, congratulations to both of you for a wonderful performance. And Team Unknown season 2, of the MSA. Maybe they run it back and get the trophy upcoming. There's definitely a lot of potential for you and your team. And like I said, I've seen y'all level up every step of the way. So I know that y'all have not reached y'all's peak quite yet. It is going to be dangerous what y'all are able to do. But Carlson, thank you so much for taking the time to come talk to us. Make sure you stay hydrated and you have a wonderful rest of your night or day wherever you may be residing.
Yeah, thank you as well. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was it for us here at the MSA Grand Finals, the first of its kind. That is the outro to Season 1. It was quite a performance from both teams. The stories, all the way that we made it here. We had just so much fun. Thank you for allowing us to commentate for you once again. I'm seeing if we have any Quidditch friends for a raid. I don't see anyone else on the Quidditch sphere right now. Maybe that is all eyes on us. So yeah, unless Western has anyone that he would like for us to raid, we'll end it off. I'll do my own little shameless plug. I am going to go live on my stream shortly for Katie Tox's and Phoenix Neo's birthday. We're going to play some party games, have a little bit of drinks, not too much. We have games tomorrow to play through, but we're going to have fun and enjoy the birthday weeks that have been. With that said, thank you from myself. Oskos, do you have any closing words you'd like to say? This way.
Just kind of mirroring exactly what you said. Thanks everybody for being here, for participating in this first season of the MSA. We are definitely looking forward to see what we can do for season 2, and we hope to see everybody once again, and possibly even more of you for what comes next.
Absolutely. Shoki.
I don't want to beat the dead horse and repeat things that have already been said twice, so I'm not going to. But what I will say is that if you enjoyed this tournament and you wanted to get in on the action or see these teams in their own chats, we are going to be posting a link directly to the MSA Discord. Feel free to join. Feel free to say hi. Look for other players. Look for people to make teams with. And hopefully we can actually see a little more fresh blood for these competitions, put a little bit more events together as we've done in the past. But I am so thankful for all of you for tuning in to these tournaments, to these games. It really shows that this community it holds a special place in my heart, thinking that Harry Potter was probably one of the earliest fandoms that I got into, and seeing the sport that I loved get placed into a video game and allowed it to thrive. That's all we really want.
Absolutely. So once again, thank you, Western. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Crazy Comms. Thank you, Team Unknown. Thank you all. We appreciate you. You have a wonderful rest of y'all's night, and we'll see you soon.